Hey y'all, this is Jocasta Lester. I don't want to give you any misinformation. What I want to tell you is this. I was looking at my eyes. The voices, if you hear the voices in your head, the Bible in Ecclesiastes talks about evil disease. I've noticed this. When you start to talk to the voices or when you start to listen to them, you start to get distracted from the things that you're supposed to do in life. I noticed that, I can drive a perfect, I can do, well, I don't want to say perfect. I can do certain things, okay? Then you get distracted by these voices. You be dang near ran up on a curb. So it follows that these things are a distraction. That's how I test it. I use my life to test a lot of things. And my eyes are looking crazy right now. I don't know what to do about that. But anyway. So when you, should you hear these voices, just understand that all of the voices are the evils, all of them. Just do this for yourselves. Evil disease. Evil disease is talked about in Ecclesiastes. If you take all of the voices and say, oh, these are crazy voices, it is true. They are just literally the crazy of your life. So that all of the diagnoses in the world, use them as tools to understand the spiritual things that are acting upon you evilly. The world is evil, and the world talks about how evil the world is. So that when you look at it, it's like, well, what are these voices? It's evil disease according to the Bible. Well, what kind of evil disease? They call it this in the world: psychosis, schizophrenia. That's the diagnoses for it. But when you understand it spiritually, I'm like, all right, so if you hear the people in your head, you hear all of the evil that's acting upon you in your life. You're hearing the evil disease of your life. Okay? So what you want out from among the evil voices in your life is your own. You do not want to lose your own to evil disease. Okay? So that if your friend has become schizophrenia to you, that's somebody that was not your friend. They are what is called, if you call all the voices, let's say now you hear all these voices and you're like, say it ain't so. These ain't the evil people of the world. This can't be. Well, let's say you go across it in your head and you say, okay, these are the evil people of the world. I hear the evil people of the world acting upon me as an evil disease. Well, I'm like, well, but I hear my brethren amongst these people. Well, then call it your brethren. Say, okay, these are my brethren. And that's all Christians that you hear among these voices if you're a Christian. And you say, all right, but these ones that I hear, they're the false brethren. So that these are the brethren acting as an evil disease upon me. Now, when you've heard this, you say, okay, I still want to retrieve my own out from among them. So my spec will be used to discuss that, but also just call it like it is. Don't claim ownership of evil disease. No, you do not have psychosis. No, you are not schizophrenic. No, you are not crazy. Sometimes there are things that are spiritual that you don't understand that are acting upon you. And I would say that the world aids you in diagnosing it as evil disease. All of the things, all the attributes of evil disease speak to it robbing you of your life. It can take things from your life that would have otherwise been your own had you not had these evil things acting upon you. But what you have is a form of spiritual insight into the sabotage of your own life. And that's all. Don't take it so personally. Don't get so perturbed. Don't talk to them at all. What I found is if you start to talk to them or if you start to listen to them, oh my gosh, it flips your mind. It's like people, the deeper they get into their head place, the more distracted they are with life. So that the things that they're supposed to do in natural life, they don't do because they're caught in head life. Okay? And a lot of it, just view it as a form of judgment from the Lord. So that when you run into these people and they go just purely incompetent, they stop being able to do their jobs sometimes because they're so involved in what's going on in the spiritual stuff out there. I'm telling you, I've seen it with my naked too. How a person, you'll be doing your job and they're so busy trying to manage your job that they stop doing theirs and they struggle and they do something that's universally considered a driver that can't drive. Like, it's like that. They'll drive this big old dump truck or big old whatever the heck it may be. And they'll stop knowing how to operate their trucks properly. So understand it. So repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Have a blessed and marvelous day. Just know you can see a sufferer of evil disease right near you, and you can understand that they're under whatever is the evil disease that is personal to you by how they act upon you and toward you. Sometimes you could see someone who's caught in the familiar headspace by how they conduct themselves around you. So that if you're doing your job, you're just doing your job. And whatever the heck it was that was going on with your day, and they're coming to come be some big baddie to you. Okay. They come to you and they're mad at you about nothing. And you're like, hold on, wait, what did I do to you? Oh, you're mad about the voices in my head. This looks rather funny. But yes, it's a spiritual situation. In other words, it's a very real spiritual situation that they've described away using mental illness. But at the end of the day, it follows that it's an illness, not the fact, it's not your evil disease. In other words, it's evil disease acting upon you in life. It is this thing that's trying to rob you of your life as a collective beast that's in the spiritual acting upon you. So I said it again, that was redundant, but yes, it is something that tries to ruin your life. You hear the sabotage of your life spiritually as voices in your head, as things acting upon you. If you're more of a visceral listener, if you're a person that, let's say, or I don't know if tactile is the right word for it right now, but let's say something acts upon you and it touches you. Okay. It follows that is that form of that sabotage. It doesn't make you feel comfortable. It's crawling on you. It's bringing parasites to you. Like, in the state of your body is basically indicative of the state of your body. So have a blessed and marvelous day. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Understand it. And yes, the whole point is this. All the voices in your head are bad people. If you run across them and you meet the real baddies, they're not good people. Don't put that in your heart that they're so good. Don't. Just know that they're a part of the saboteurs as a collective, the mass acting upon you. So that the sabotage is the sabotage. But there are different constituents in the sabotage. Like, they're in the group of people that sabotage you. The ones that you hear are your personal sabotage. I don't know what you're hearing, but however you hear, if you go and catch cancer, well, dang it, the sabotage acted upon you. Somebody might have been praying for you to die. Somebody else might have been cursing. Somebody over there, way over there, stirring the cauldron. They all came together to ruin your life. The devil's that. Don't take it as a joke. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And I'll tell you this. Let's say you'll be talking, right? Out, not in a crazy space, but like, let's say you're talking to somebody and you understand, because you're a spiritual person, that there is a spiritual entity that tries to take over the conversation. I'm telling you, there are people who struggle with autism in particular, people that struggle to speak using their own mouths. They contend against spiritual entities that are acting upon them in their bodies. They are basically under the attack of autism. I call it the evil disease known as autism. And autism very well is the beast, as something acting upon you spiritually that's difficult to describe because they have autism to explain it away. So take care.